Welcome to AC 24/7's Top Story Countdown. I'm Aaron Dean. Right now, I'm here to guide you through the biggest stories of the day. Here's our pick for number 4.
Super Bowl 58 is set. The San Francisco 49ers taking on defending Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs.
At the end of the day, we want to compete. We want to go out there and win.
49er fans ecstatic following Sunday's nail-biter win over the Detroit Lions.
It was incredible. I got a little nervous in the first half.
It was awesome. Instant classic for sure.
Fan enthusiasm soaring, and so are ticket prices. As of Monday morning, the get-in price was $8,188, which is 51% more expensive than the get-in price for the Super Bowl this time last year. According to StubHub, the most expensive ticket listed is more than $85,000 and includes a VIP package. With the Super Bowl being hosted in Las Vegas, that too could drive up prices since it's a major tourist destination. And there's no denying that Taylor Swift's presence at this year's big game will also impact the prices as she cheers on her boyfriend, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
The singer has already helped break NFL viewership records. Last week's playoff game between the Chiefs and the Bills was the most watched divisional playoff game in history. Airlines are also seizing on the hype. American Airlines and United both adding special flights between Kansas City and Las Vegas with special flight numbers like 1989, a nod to the year Swift was born and her most popular album. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The Advocate Channel looks at the world through the lens of equality, community, hope, and inclusion. AC 24/7 Top Story Countdown continues with our producer's pick for number 3.
It's a worrisome reality for roadside assistance providers.
For those that are working on the side of the road, rescuing stranded motorists, providing valuable service to all motorists, it really is a very risky enterprise.
A new study by the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety reveals 123 tow truck drivers, mobile mechanics, emergency roadside technicians, and safety service patrols were fatally struck on the job from 2015 to 2021, nearly 4 times government estimates. The data also shows the vast majority of the fatal crashes occurred in areas where the speed limit was 55 miles an hour or higher and in good weather without slippery conditions. And while nearly 2/3 occurred in darkness, a notable 34% of crashes happened in broad daylight.
In nearly 2/3 of the crashes, the vehicle that was involved in the crash had already started to depart their lane. And so this really speaks to factors such as distraction, fatigue, impairment as being involved in these sorts of crashes.
Tracking the statistics is difficult, according to AAA's William Horry. Many of these occupational fatalities are unspecified in crash reports or recorded as pedestrian deaths. Having the right data, he says, is critical to improving worker safety. But more importantly, Horry notes, it's incumbent upon drivers to take care on the roads.
We really need motorists to slow down, move over. Even a few feet of spacing can mean the difference between life and death for some of these operators.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
The Advocate Channel is now streaming live on Amazon Prime in the News app. Watch us there or go to theadvocatechannel.com. AC 24/7 continues with today's top 2 pick.
Well, the problem is not heading in the right direction. We now have biting that is entering the conversation. An American passenger now accused of biting a Japanese flight attendant on a flight from Tokyo to Seattle, that flight having to turn back to Tokyo. So now there is a clarion call for all of us passengers to do better.
In terms of engaging with someone, if someone is just being rude or unkind, we have to ask ourselves, is it worth the fight?
And the answer is no. No fighting on a plane, says etiquette expert Diane Gottsman. A common source of sky-high scuffles, according to industry experts and flight attendants, booze, getting drunk while in flight.
If you are belligerent, they may turn the plane around, or there may be somebody to greet you when you land.
The International Air Transport Association says it's working with airports and duty-free stores to encourage responsible sales and marketing of alcohol in the terminals. There are matters of common courtesy, especially when people are packed and not very comfortable in full flights. Let's talk about shoes.
Keep those shoes on. Do not take your shoes off. If you are on a very long extended flight, maybe you bring another pair of more comfortable shoes to change into, but no toes.
Also, recline with caution.
We should look backwards, make sure that this person's knees are not up against the seat.
Then there's changing seats. It cannot be for something willy-nilly, Gottsman says. There needs to be a good reason, like...
You as a parent are split from your child who is very young. You're going to want to ask the flight attendant to help you so they perhaps can find a situation, 2 seats together.
And this isn't just an issue of being potentially reprimanded by an airline. Some of these cases are ending up in federal court. A man was flying from Dallas, Texas to Bozeman, Montana earlier this month, accused of kicking a guy's seat in front of him and then punching out a flight attendant, causing a level 2 security concern. So again, these statistics are not heading in the right direction. That's the latest from here in Los Angeles. I'm Mike Valerio.
The Advocate Channel is your news source for news, entertainment, and trending stories. We're highlighting the advocates in our community. We have now arrived at our #1 story of the day. Take a look.
All-out warfare in unforgiving terrain. Forest battles in eastern Ukraine mean facing a near-constant Russian onslaught. Vladimir Putin's army trying to break through Ukrainian defenses. Dimitro is one of those holding them up. The situation is very active and very tense, he says, because the enemy has much more equipment and manpower. Basically, every day they try to storm the positions. A dead Russian soldier and a destroyed tank show just how close the Russians have come. It's a fight for survival and against the elements. The trench, cold, wet, and soggy, the only heat coming from candles the soldiers cower around, gathering strength to face overwhelming Russian firepower. They shoot direct fire, planes are flying, basically they have it all, he says. But probably the worst are tanks. When they fire, you don't even hear it. You hear an airplane when it comes over. With a tank, you're in God's hands. Artillery fire, another threat here, as we found out when we came under fire trying to make it to the area. Go!
And this is unfortunately something that, when we work here in the east of the country, happens all too often. We were getting ready to film here, and then all of a sudden we heard what appeared to be outgoing artillery, but then a shell came in. 100 meters, gotcha. We're now trying to make our way out of here as safe as possible. That means we have to keep distance between our cars, but we also, of course, have to keep moving the entire time to make sure that we can get out of here, hopefully safely.
We believe a Russian drone spotted us and directed the artillery fire, but 2 can play that game. Naziri is a Ukrainian drone pilot. He guides Kiev's artillery guns, targeting Russian infantry, but also armored assault formations, including main battle tanks. He says ammo shortages mean he has to be extremely precise. It's no secret we're starved of artillery shells, he says. We try to work as efficiently and accurately as possible to hit the enemy's firepower, trying to fight back any way they can on one of the toughest battlefields of this war.
That's today's countdown. Download the Advocate Channel app on your phone or smart TV. We're also one of Fire TV's newest free live news channels. There's more news and entertainment coming up after the break.